Hello, this is Ryan from Let's Roleplay, and this is channel news for July 4th, 2021. So I didn't actually plan to have a video out today. It was supposed to be last Sunday, but with the unprecedented heat, literally it broke all the records for where I live. And the whole province, the next province over, Alberta, as well as the Yukon up north. Wow, it was hot here. I've never experienced anything over 40 degrees here with the humidity. It's insane. Yeah, it's really bad. So I had to postpone this. But I hope this video goes okay. Last video I made back in, was it May? Yeah, because I missed June. May, yeah. I thought that was one of my best videos that I've done. Webcam videos anyways. These aren't easy if you've never done them before. I'm still getting used to them. I have less than 20 that I've done with webcam type videos. It's a lot easier when it's just your voice and you have to look in the camera. And some people are afraid of being behind the camera. I was a little shy at first, even though I have over 2,000 videos on my channel. Yeah, your voice is one thing. Your face behind the noticing things on my shelf behind me that shouldn't be there. I guess my kids put them up. There's a bubble thing back there. Anyways. Yeah, I have a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old. The 6-year-old likes to get into everything. Excuse me. So, let's get on with the purpose of this video. Yeah, but because of my bad sleep, I've been inconsistent with my videos in the last 3 weeks. So, yeah, there's quite a bit of a glare in my glasses when I'm showing see the light glare coming from, basically, what is it called? It's like Word. It's called WPS Office. It's a free one. I don't have to pay monthly. I don't know what the heck Microsoft is thinking with that. But anyways, it's free. So that's where I do all my writing from when it comes to my channel. Yeah, it's like, because I have it's a 36-inch, it's 34-inch or 36-inch monitor. It's just the glare of all the white in the background, and I've really toned it down as much as you can and still use it properly. It still has a lot of glare in it. I can see it just like reflecting on my glasses. I don't need to wear glasses. My vision was pretty good before. Glasses are to help with my neurological problems, headaches and migraines and stuff like that I've had since around 2014, which are really, it's getting better. It's gotten a lot better in the last year and a half, 2 years. So anyways, sleep. Now, I suffered really bad sleep last year around this time. Mid-July, or sorry, mid-June all the way into July. And I don't know exactly the cause of it. It could be just that the light coming into my room, I'm getting up at 5, 6 a.m. and not being able to fall back to sleep. And it's, I mean, maybe even a week of it is okay, but when you get into about 3 weeks of it, yeah. And I was having migraines as well. I had about a week's worth of migraines every day, and it was a lot of suffering. And I was still making videos for most of that time. So it got to the point where I have to give up. I can't keep going. I got to get my sleep back in order. And so that's what happened with the slowdown in June. And hopefully tomorrow everything's back in order. I have 2 videos coming out tomorrow, so things should be going back the way that they were. So I fell asleep around 9 o'clock, got up at 6:30 this morning. It's a lot of sleep for me. I require a lot of sleep. 8 to 9 hours is a good night. That's what I aim for. But typically I get around 7 hours on average. So, as you can see, I'm in the spirit of my channel. Hopefully that didn't make too much noise. Skyrim shirt. Skyrim t-shirt. So the best quality ones obviously come from the Bethesda store, not ordering them from Amazon through some kind of third party, whatever they do. And this is the first Skyrim shirt that I ordered. Oh man, this is bad. It looks so much better on the actual store page. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. I can't wear that. It's like about the cheapest you can possibly get. So yeah, they're better on the Bethesda store, but they don't sell Skyrim or Fallout 4 anymore. I have a Fallout 4 shirt I bought like some years ago, but they don't sell anything anymore. It'd also be nice to get shirts that aren't just black. Oh yes, I have to show you my channel t-shirt, which has been designed. I designed it. It looks pretty good if you ask me. In the channel colors as well. And it's not black. So this is what my t-shirt looks like for my channel. I think that's pretty good. Goes with all the color, and it's not black. That's just all I have for t-shirts for video games, black shirts. Fully in character, let's roleplay. I think it looks great. Here's somebody wearing it. No, it's not an actual shirt. It's just virtual, like a mock-up. It hasn't been printed out yet. But this is the design, so I can send it into a t-shirt company, and then they can send it back to buy it. And I plan to do that for my channel when my channel grows. If and when. We'll see what happens. So yeah, so paying $16 to $25 for a t-shirt on Amazon compared to $25 each t-shirt from Bethesda store, and paying $25 on top of that for shipping for each shirt. It's a little pricey, especially since the Amazon shirts are free shipping for me. Because, you know, you get that, whatever it's called. My wife has that thing. You pay monthly and all the shipping is free. So, some things I'd like to share with you guys about the work I'm doing on my channel. No, fast travel is not in Oblivion, nor will it be in Skyrim. I literally have to run around on my horse for most of the travel. But using the Mage's Guild, teleportation really helps to get from city to city. Especially, I'm not sure I have to test it out better, but I think when you do teleport that your horse does go to that city. It did happen to Bruma once when I went there through the mage teleport. But I don't know, if you get on another horse, the previous horse will go back to the city where you bought it from. That's what happened to Prophet in one of my videos that I just did. So when I leave the city, horse transportation is pretty important. I have to get that figured out because otherwise it would take a long time if you go on foot. Funny enough, though, that the entire province, actually, these square kilometers are broken down into just one. You can compare it to a city. One city is about the size of the entire province. And yeah, they make it, obviously it's just a game, they make it seem like it's much larger than it is, but yeah, it's really just the size of one city, so that's why you can get from one end to the other end within an hour, or maybe hour and a half on horseback. Actually, I think a lot faster than that on horseback. If you walk, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So for Pillars of Eternity 2, it's nearly done. There's just the main quests and the DLC. If there's any DLC, if it comes up, I'll do it. But if I have to search for it, and I don't get the message in the game, I won't be doing those. It'd be kind of odd to just automatically know that there's something there somewhere in the Deadfire. But I've done things like that before. You just say your character got the message to go there. I don't know. I mean, I like the game. I like parts of it. Overall, I think it's better than I thought it would have been going in. I wasn't too happy with the first game. Pillars of Eternity. It's not that playing it wasn't that bad. It was just the way converting that into a full in-character experience was not easy for me. It was the first game I did that with, and much of the names were really difficult to pronounce. They're totally illogical. It's not like English. I don't even know what you can compare it to. Gaelic? I don't know. A lot of the words are just crazy. And I had to do a lot of backtracking, redoing things over and over again, trying to figure out how to get the names, read the words properly, because you can read a paragraph and there could be half a dozen words in there you don't know how to properly say. So I did some looking up of them, research, and or just trying to figure out how you should be saying it. So I don't know why they designed it like that. Just write it out so it's easy for everyone to pronounce. It's one thing if you're playing it single player. Well, it is a single player game. If you're playing it by yourself, you're not recording it. It's one thing. But when you're trying to make it a full in-character experience, it's quite another. And I grew a little frustrated with that game. And there's some other things, minor things in the game that I experienced that I didn't really have too much fun with. But yeah, it was a bit of a stale. It was had neat ideas for the lore, but just the background just felt very stale. The Deadfire is a lot different. Pillars of Eternity 2 feels a lot different. It's more exciting. There's places to sail around to, and yeah, it's just better. They really incorporated the gods in a really neat way, better in the second game. The first game just felt very stale, and I didn't really like that. So Baldur's Gate 2 is about half done. When thrown, a ball is taken into account, and the big Dungeon Watcher's Keep is also taken into account. So I have yet to go into that, and but I bought Baldur's Gate 3 back in April. But I'm not sure if it's ready to be played yet, because it's still in early access. I know when it first came out, about half the content in the game was out, so you'd be missing so much. I just couldn't do a playthrough of that. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long it will take me to finish Baldur's Gate 2. Hopefully it will. Baldur's Gate 3 will be completely out of early access this year. If it's not, I will probably just wait once Baldur's Gate 2 is done. Yeah, I guess so. So I'll just have 2 different games going at the same time. Probably Fallout 4 and make a few people happy that like the 3D games. No more isometric games. I don't think Baldur's Gate 3 is... I think it's partial isometric and 3D. Whenever you talk to someone, I just seen, obviously, screenshots and a few videos. I haven't played it. It zooms in, so it's a full 3D game when it's zoomed in. But when it's got isometric. I have to look what that means of isometric. Does it just mean top-down, I think? I think it is isometric when you're playing with your party, running around fighting, but all communication with other people is fully 3D. So it's a bit of a hybrid type game. So those who don't like the isometric games, and there's a few of you on my channel, please give it a try. Just watch it. Be a new male character that I'll be playing, which I haven't even conceptualized yet. I know what I'm going to be doing for Skyrim, but Baldur's Gate 3, I have no idea. I'll come up with something. So in this video, I plan to go over the polls that I did for 2021 and maybe a bit into 2020. I'll include people's comments that they made. Next channel news, which won't be out until late August 20s, in the 20s of August. I'll include another round of Q&A. So let's start with when Bethesda was bought out by Xbox. So I wrote, oh well, Xbox buys Bethesda. This is huge gaming news. Probably the biggest in years. At first I thought that, just based on the headlines, that it meant that Xbox would get exclusives to compete with PlayStation. But no, it was a $7.5 billion acquisition. I can only hope that Bethesda doesn't go downhill and become ruined like what happened to BioWare. The upside is that BioWare was independent when it was bought by EA, and in Bethesda's case, it was already owned by the parent company ZeniMax. Despite Fallout 76, Bethesda has had a great track record for their games. Even though it took a while, they really put a lot of effort into Fallout 76, so the gaming experience is much better than it was in the first year, at least according to my gaming news info that I follow. For myself, I used to be a hardcore BioWare fan as my favorite RPG company, but over the last 10 years, Bethesda has taken that crown. So now I'm cautiously optimistic about this news. One good thing is that Obsidian is also under Xbox, so there might be a Fallout New Vegas 2 in the future. As long as good Bethesda games keep coming out for the PC, I don't care about the console wars. How do you feel about this news? So no one wrote any comments for this one. 53%, I am cautiously optimistic as well. 32% wrote, it's too early to tell. I don't know if this is good or bad news. And 16% wrote, no, this is terrible news. Bethesda has been destroyed. Now, I have a feeling that some people just choose stuff like that, the last one, just to be contrarian, or like me, I'm a little chaotic myself, so I might throw out. Occasionally I'll put an option just to choose the crazy response, but I don't see how Bethesda's being destroyed. I don't exactly like ZeniMax. I'm not sure. This is the thing. This is what a lot of people think, that it was just Bethesda that did Fallout 76. It was and wasn't. Apparently, a lot of companies, big companies like Bethesda, would have like 2 different company locations where on each location they would work on a game. And that's what happened. Was it Austin? Bethesda is based out of Maryland, isn't it? Or is it DC? It's one of the 2. So, yeah, they had another company that they created, or another branch of themselves, just to work on Fallout 76. And they're the ones that did that. Now, the main company that's still, DC or Maryland, wherever they are, they're still working on their regular lines of games, such as Fallout and The Elder Scrolls, and I guess now Starfield. They've been working on that for the last couple years. So they're the ones working on that. it is and isn't them. So the reason why they wouldn't declare it's a different branch of themselves is because they didn't want people to think less of the part of the company that's working on Fallout 76. Some companies have done that. I know, is it BioWare did that for the Old Republic. I'm not sure where. They're based out of Edmonton, which is in Alberta, a Canadian company. They're Canadian doctors who started it. But I think when they partnered with EA, they did it to make the Old Republic, which, 10 years ago, everyone still thought that MMOs were a big cash grab. I guess for some it was. But they've really fallen downhill in the last 10, 15 years. They're just not the big gaming money maker that they used to be. So they announced that they had a different part of their company that they expanded to make the Old Republic. And a lot of companies have done that, but I think they're trying to, now in the last few years, they're trying to hide that because, well, it's I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. They just don't want people to think less of the other part of the company that's making the game. So, yeah, the same thing happened with Bethesda for Fallout 76, and maybe it can explain part of the reason, not completely, why Fallout 76 didn't do too well in the first year, why they bungled it a bit, but oh well, that's just how it is. So, next poll, this is fairly short. For Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, there was only one question to be asked. Yeah, the turn-based. Turn-based are real-time with pause. Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 have real-time with pause, and I played the first Pillars of Eternity like that as well. But I don't remember if it was an option at the game start like it is with Pillars of Eternity 2. So you only choose right when you create the game. So it's either or, and you cannot go back and change that. You'd have to start a new game. So it's set for the entire game. So turn-based, 41%. Only 17 votes here. Interesting. Real time with pause, 59%, and that's what I went with. So you guys do actually decide some of the things that I do on my channel. Not the majority of it. Just, little here, little there. It was brought to my attention that, and it does make sense, with so little people voting on my channel, that one person, if they have several accounts, can sway it. So, yeah, no. I didn't even think of that when I was starting to do that, but it was pointed out to me that it can be. It's pretty hard when you see someone with 100,000 subs and then there's like 20,000 votes. It's hard to change that with one person. But anyways, that's another reason why I don't want to do polls, deciding what I do too often. I will do it once in a while. So the next poll I did, this is 8 months ago, asking for people's general view of the game Pillars of Eternity, not Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, as I'm playing that game blind, and I am enjoying it much more than the first game. Pillars of Eternity was short in the poll. Pillars of Eternity, PoE, for short in the poll. I can't read my own writing. So these are the reasons. 5 years ago, I started my Pillars of Eternity Let's Roleplay, the first 100% in-character Let's Roleplay on my channel. I was juggling that game, plus 2 other Let's Roleplays, 1 strategy game, and Project 1999 EverQuest, so I was really busy. This probably also added to my frustrations with the game. When you have so much that you're juggling, and you just kind of want to get through stuff fast, and the quality won't always be there, and I guess that added to my frustration. I just wanted to get the videos out. But as I learned as I was going through the first Pillars of Eternity video, you can't really do that if you want it to be something worth watching. So I had to slow down how fast I was making the videos. I learned that was this is going back years ago. This is going back to 2015. It's when the first Pillars of Eternity came out. So I learned in that year that you can't just rush this stuff anymore. It's another reason why I can only put out so much, other than my restricted time that I have, due to a lot of it is with my children. And personal health is also a reason. Okay, so considering that this is a new IP, it had new lore and a new fantasy world and all that, also with a lot, and I mean a lot of words that are not pronounced properly in English. For example, Eothas, the god, is pronounced A-O. It's spelled E-O-T-H-A-S, so you would think Eothas, but it's pronounced Eothas in the game, and you hear people saying it that way, so... But just reading it is, if you don't know how to pronounce it and you just start reading it for the first time, And where my character was born is Read Ceres, but it's Reed, R-E-A-D. So how was I supposed to know? Especially when I just did my first video. So I called it Reed Ceres. That and the sometimes mundane lore as well as odd stuff. There was a lot of odd stuff in that game. Sort of turned me off on the game. There were other reasons too, but they were minor. Anyway, it was my least favorite of all my Let's Roleplay games at the time, and I was a backer and pledged $150 back in the day to get the game started. I don't always like some of the games I play at first. That's been, I don't know why, I didn't like Baldur's Gate when I first played it. I played it all the way to the end, and I don't know. Don't ask me why I didn't like it. I think I was just in the Fallout mindset. That I just liked that game better, and Baldur's Gate was just, it was different. But then that switched at some point, probably when I played Baldur's Gate 2. I went back and played the first one. I actually really enjoyed it from start to finish, so it's weird. That's just how I am. Not everyone's their own person. Everyone's different and weird in their own way, and that's my weird way. Some games I don't like when I first play it, and then I end up really liking them later on. So I played Baldur's Gate and completed it back in 2000. And it's I think it came out December of 98. I remember picking it up from the store. And I ended up not liking it. My head was just in a different space back then, but now after playing a bit of Pillars of Eternity to Deadfire and enjoying it, I wonder if I wasn't able to give the Pillars of Eternity, the first game, a proper chance back in 2015. What do you guys think? So, 23 votes. I really liked Pillars of Eternity, its lore, characters, all of it. 61%. Interesting. I like Pillars of Eternity, but not all of it. It has strange lore and characters. That's more where I would be. That would be my choice. Pillars of Eternity is an okay game. Not too great, not too bad. 13%. I dislike it. Pillars of Eternity could have been better. 4%. I really don't like Pillars of Eternity. 9%. Okay, next one. It's just the results. I post a lot of stuff. Gotta get to the next poll. Okay. 7 months ago. This would have been December of 2020. Do you think I should add a fourth Let's Roleplay game, starting with Cyberpunk 2077 in December? Maybe this was November, I'm not sure. No, it'd have to be December because it's July now. This will slow down all my other RPGs if it is done. Personally, I don't want to do this because of the slowdown, but it's up to my Let's Roleplay fans. So 36 votes? Yes. Add Cyberpunk 2077 this December, 39%. No, do not add Cyberpunk 2077 this December, 61%. I don't want to make these videos too long, but I do want to say I actually, in the last few weeks, I have played it and I finished the main story. I liked it, but I knew that the game was not finished. It was like an early access game when I first started it in December, so I played maybe a dozen hours throughout a week or two, and then I knew a big patch was coming. They announced it, so I just waited. Big patch came out in April. Started playing it in June, completed the main story, actually, and I went back, and now I'm trying to finish up all the different little side quests, then I'll finish the main story again. But I have to say, actually, I would add it into my top 10 RPGs of all time. There's a lot of work that went into it, a lot. And I think it is a very well done game, but it came out about a year too early. They screwed up there. It doesn't mean the game is trash, and it kind of bothers me when people write that. It's not true. Go and play it with a big patch. It's a pretty damn good game. So, and RPGs are my favorite. So I think I have a voice when it comes to compare all the other RPGs I play, especially all the videos I put out on my channel. I like the game. I think it's really good. I put it in my top 10. Let's see, the next poll. What do you think is the biggest weakness of Morrowind in current day, even with all the mods possible to make it way better looking and sounding than the original? 28 votes. Lack of character voiceovers and too much reading, 7%. That would be probably half of my complaint for Morrowind. Poor animations, boring combat, and bad sound effects, 68%. See, I wouldn't have checked that off. I would have checked off 2 of my things. So the voiceovers really bothered me, all that reading. The other half would have been, no, I would put it into a third, actually, because bland quests, too little engagement or meaning in them, that was actually a big point for me. There's just too many, go here, kill this, go here, get that, return. It's about at least 3/4 of all the quests in Morrowind. There's just like, there's no soul to it. I got really bored with them, and I think a lot of people did as well with the quests. I added the life into the game by all my writing and, you know, character background and everything, but I think that for me personally playing it, the bland quests really added into it. Then there's the stagnant world. Everyone stands in the same place with no life. That also bothered me. So lack of voiceovers, too much reading, bland quests, stagnant world, that bothered me. The lore is good, but the characters are forgettable. Yeah, I'd actually, I'd go with that too. So 4% voted for that. 21% voted for a stagnant world. Interesting. And there are... Actually, there was for Cyberpunk. I don't know if I want to get into that because I think I ticked off a few people about adding that in there. I'd be more interested in a push through Baldur's Gate to make way for Baldur's Gate 3 when it releases fully. Yeah, well, that's what I'll be doing. Same here is what I want to do, what I wrote in reply. Personally, I won't be getting Cyberpunk 2077 from Captain Red 1000. Just by virtue of how it was made. For you, on the other hand, if you are going to get it, might not be a great idea to add it to your already heavy workload. Yeah. I think that's all I need to read about that. I brought this up in the channel news for December 19th, 2020, out of concern that my narrating was being read too fast and might have been a turnoff for many, and it could have harmed my channel, even though I have greatly focused on it in November to improve it. What do you think? 24 votes? It was too fast, but I never minded. No worries, 63%. It was too fast and kept me from enjoying it. Much better now, 33%. It was too fast and awful. It sure turned off a lot of viewers, 4%. Well, I hope it didn't. Yeah, I've really tried to work on that. So, Buckle Backwoods wrote, just got done watching both your channel update and your Q&A, and yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the middle option, too fast, to get me from enjoying it. Everything is so much better now. I can watch and relax in total comfort without feeling like I'm being rushed. Thanks for putting up this community poll. It does feel like it might be being manipulated a little bit, though. You have yourself a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And Captain Red 1000, I've definitely noticed an increase in narration speed, but it's never been an issue for me. If I miss something, well, I can always rewind 10 seconds and listen again. Yeah, it should have been done right in the first place. That was my mistake. Now I gotta find out my place. How is my reading in the last 2 months? I'm finding that slowing down my reading in my videos has also affected how I read and even talk to people. It did. Outside of making my videos. I suppose that I have always been a fast talker normally, but my videos are actually training me to communicate better overall with everything. Perhaps I have a form of attention deficit disorder, but then pretty much everyone these days has something going on with them. And I know this because I have 2 special needs kids. Everything is something as part of the ASD, autism spectrum disorder. So, 24 votes. Your reading is perfect now, 8%. Ah, couldn't have voted more for that, huh? It is improved, but could still be a bit better, 50%. I don't notice a difference, it never bothered me before, 42%. Ethan Carter, your reading is almost perfect, but not like listening to an audio book, but it improved by a lot. Did you read The Hobbit? Fun other books to your kids? That can help too, if you like to reach the 100%. My reading is horrible, by the way, if I read out loud. I need to study the text at least 2 times. No, I do not pre-read. I know, somebody, Gamer Poets, used to, I swear he used to pre-do everything in his videos before doing it. I'm not sure, I could be wrong, but that was my guess. I am not doing that. I'm not spending that much time making the videos. If it was like a movie, if I was making an actual movie and millions of people were going to watch it, of course I would go over and over and over it, make sure it's all done right, but I'm not. I'm not doing that. So it goes on again about my writing. Probably nothing much more interesting about it than that. Oh wow, so it jumped to just 2 months ago from back in December. I guess I didn't do polls for a while. So, do you think that a great many games that aren't classified as RPGs can be roleplayed in my always-in-character style, such as the Dishonored series, XCOM, The Long Dark, or Heavy Rain? Yeah, all from different genres, but games that I've played. 27 votes, 11% put yes, but stick to real RPGs until there are no good ones left. 63%. Yes, absolutely, I'd be interested in seeing what you could do. 26%. No, only actual RPGs are worthwhile in your style. So Joseph Henny. I don't know. I would say Heaney, but never know. Been a long time viewer. Either I watch or I don't. I go by your view of the game. If you don't enjoy playing it, there is no reason to continue playing it. That is what I like, and yes, I do not watch all of the game videos. There are some I like more than others, but do what you want to do. It is our choice if we do not watch, but it is your choice if you want to play that game. The game. Which one of my Let's Roleplay video series do you like the best? 34 votes. The Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind, and 4, Oblivion, 53%. Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2, 18%. Pillars of Eternity and Pillars of Eternity 2, 9%. Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, and Dragon Age Inquisition, 15%. And one of my other games I did a Let's Play with, 6%. I can guess which that one would be. Captain Red 1000. Your Dragon Age videos are what brought me here to your channel, and are nothing less than iconic. Thank you very much. Humdrum Feast. Just discovered your channel. I'll be watching all of them. Thank you. It's awesome. Jason. EverQuest. Project 1999. I'm sure that would be what people voted for here. One of my other games I did a Let's Play with. What do you think about fully in-character roleplays in Bethesda-type games where one character can basically do everything? Does it ruin the roleplay, such as a mage-type picking locks or a thief-type wearing heavy armor? 37 votes. If done with good role-playing reason and not overdone, it's fine, 68%. A character needs to stick only to what his class type does, 5%. Only idiots complain about this type of thing, don't worry, 27%. Interesting. Okay, so Humdrum Feast wrote, read more. I think the most interesting characters in literature, movies, games, any kind of media really, are the ones that don't entirely fit a mold. Maybe they're even flawed. I like playing an intelligent warrior who maybe takes a hit on strength occasionally, adds some nuance to the playthrough. I also like characters that have some skills outside of what's normal for their archetype. I feel like a thief in the Elder Scrolls universe would definitely turn to spells that help conceal, confuse, obfuscate. A warrior who used to have some unscrupulous friends may have learned how to pick locks or set traps, how to hunt. Only as good as your imagination. I do eventually get a little bored if I could do everything, but it's usually so close to the end for me that it feels justified. Yeah, that's very true. I feel the same way. You get to the end of one of the Elder Scrolls games, or even Fallout games. Yeah, just being really powerful and everything. That's kind of the norm, because where are you going to put all your extra skill points, right? Into something that was weaker before, so you raise up all your lower skills. This is about the memberships. I put in a lot of work for the memberships for my channel, and it means more of a commitment for those who join. However, this is for those who want to support my channel and get some channel perks while doing so. As for any changes that I will make for anyone who doesn't join, there are none. Some people seem to have taken it the wrong way. Did you get to the end of the membership advertisement? I get 70% of the membership fee, and YouTube gets the other 30%. That's actually the same with all the advertisements across YouTube. So what are the issues that you as a subscriber might have with my channel having memberships? Please only respond if you've seen the membership advertisement. And 24 votes. I didn't get to the end where you said no changes for non-members, 0%. I don't want to support YouTube or big tech, 29%, neither do I. I don't like it either. I realize you need to have more income, but I cannot afford it, 63%. Now that's something I probably shouldn't have even put in there. Yeah, probably shouldn't have had that. That wasn't a question that was even necessary or relevant. That was just something that most people chose. I guess, I don't know, wasn't thinking clearly when I wrote that. So I'm afraid you have compromised your channel or quality of work, 4%. Some other reason, please write it in the comment section, 4%. And no one did. No one wrote down another reason. What is your opinion on finishing the entire story of the games, as opposed to having your character die an early death and not complete the story? 42 votes. Getting more and more votes. I want the entire story to be told, with your character surviving, 31%. Personally, that's where I would be. If done well, the main character dying could be interesting, 60%. I'd like to see somebody do that, actually. I haven't... It's not that I don't even have time to watch other people's roleplay videos or let's play videos. I just don't have the time for it. The idea is neat, but... I didn't write that right. But I want to see the whole story done first, 10%. Captain Red 1000 wrote, personally, I only see this sort of thing working in games with more than one playable character in the story at once. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Still, it could be an interesting scenario or to introduce if you think you could make it work. I don't know. I guess I could, but I think as I wrote to some people that I was afraid that people would say, what happened? And get upset that I didn't finish the video. What is your favorite Elder Scrolls game? Don't count my videos, just what you like from playing the games in your own experiences. 45 votes. Daggerfall, 4%. Ah, yes. Daggerfall. I looked up some of the things that they cut out of Daggerfall before they put in Morrowind. One of the notable things was, it's very interesting, is that when you get hauled off to jail, you are brought before a court, a judge, and they will, I guess, ask you questions why you did that, and you get to use your speechcraft skill to either get out of it completely or a shorter sentence or something like that. That should be in all the Elder Scrolls games. That's a really neat idea. I didn't even know that was in there. 4% Daggerfall. Morrowind, 27%. Oblivion, 29%. Skyrim, 38%. The Elder Scrolls Online, 2%. I would vote, personally, Skyrim. Oblivion, okay, so Symmetry King 888. Sorry if I haven't said your name with one of these. I know I did it for somebody. My apologies. Oblivion all the way, though all the Elder Scrolls games and its deep and intricate lore have a special place in my heart. Me too. But I would put Skyrim all the way. Captain Red 1000. Tough choice. I grew up on Oblivion. I adore Skyrim. I was introduced to the franchise by Morrowind. But I've also seen so many RPG elements of Daggerfall that I wish had been included in the future installments, but weren't. Yeah. Marthinius Dvorak. Honestly, I've had most fun with Elder Scrolls Online. I like MMOs, but I still play ESO mostly single player. There is something in those stories, characters. Number one for me. Probably unpopular opinion. I don't think you're the only one. Somebody else wrote in another poll about it. I'll get to that. Oblivion, Noah Miller wrote Oblivion and Morrowind. Skyrim was my first love in the series. Babylon has fallen. Ugh, Skyrim players. There's always got to be somebody that doesn't like something that you like. Always. 55 votes in this one. Getting more and more votes. What is your favorite Fallout game? Yeah, that or somebody has like 20 accounts. Fallout, 9%. Fallout 2, 2%. Fallout 3, 9%. Fallout New Vegas, 55%. And Fallout 4, 25%. I guess I'm in the minority here. Fallout 4 would be mine. Bob the Player. Fallout 3. It was the first game in the series that I played, so it has the deepest impact. But I enjoy New Vegas and Fallout 4 as well. Great games from a great developer. 2 developers here, actually. Yeah, Fallout and Fallout 2 were created by... It's not Obsidian, but most of them went into Obsidian after. Do I even have one of their games? Damn, I don't think I do, because around 2000 I had a whole closet full of big game boxes, and when I moved into a small apartment, and I didn't have the room. All the games that I had throughout the 90s, yeah, they were gone. Just recycled them, unfortunately. But you know, your average game is like this size these days if you get it physical copy. But before it was like, do I have anything? I don't know. There's nothing really I have that can compare with it. Maybe my Dune book. This is probably your average size video game box. Maybe even somewhere bigger than this. Yeah, big size difference. Okay, so, see, it's funny. Fallout was obviously the first that I played back in 97, 98. I know it came out in 97. I had to borrow a copy from the free. Actually, he burnt a copy for me, and I still have that copy. But I bought them all on Steam, all the games, except Fallout 4 I already had. And Fallout New Vegas I already had. I bought Fallout 3 again, even though I have a physical copy of it up there. I just wanted them all on Steam, I guess. And there was a big sale, so I got them all cheap. So, what company made Fallout and Fallout 2? I forget the name of them. It will come to me, of course, after I finish this video. So, but Bethesda did Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. Obsidian did Fallout New Vegas. So, the different games... basically 3 companies, but Obsidian and the company that did Fallout and Fallout 2 were pretty much the same. Most of them did go to Obsidian, but not all of them. Yeah, I liked it. Fallout, just certain elements of the game where my imagination can run crazy. It's the same thing. If you've never played a type of game before, like my first MMO was EverQuest, and reading about it and just, you know, from the people who played the game in the magazines that I would read, like my imagination would run wild just on the bits of information that they would give me, their own personal stories and stuff. So same thing with Fallout. It's good to have your imagination go crazy. Kind of, you know how the game works by the middle to the end of playing through the complete game. A lot of that imagination is kind of gone by then because you know how everything is, all the lore and how the mechanics of the game work. But it's really neat. Good games stoke your imagination. And that's something that Pillars of Eternity did not do for me. Baldur's Gate did a bit when I first played it back in the late 90s. But Pillars of Eternity was like, there was nothing there for me. Fallout definitely had it. So I always remember, so it's supposed to be 80 years after nuclear war. I don't really know the lore of the game, just playing it. You leave your vault, you realize there's these underground vaults all over the US. And there's 1,000 people in there. They need a water chip to be replaced. They have no replacements. You've got to go out. No one's been outside the vault. I think later on you find out that they did send some people. But anyways, I started out thinking no one's been out for 80 years. And that's where my imagination runs just crazy, thinking of what kind of world will I be walking into? Because I didn't know anything about Fallout other than everyone was raging about how awesome it was. That's the point. The same thing happened to me with Fallout 4. So you get out, this better not be spoilers for anyone, game's been out for 6 years, almost. You get out of the cryogenic freeze, get out of that vault, you go back to your old home, which is just like a block away, and you kind of search through everything, see what's happened, everything. Your home is still there, although it's pretty dilapidated and much of it's destroyed, everything's been looted inside. And I just start building on that. I'd like build a wall around the whole community there, and then, you know, put a bed in my old place, and, you know, and then you have your helper robot, and Codsworth, yeah. And he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't have much experience outside of the area. And I'm just wondering, like, you can look down south and see Boston, and you know your son's been taken from you, kidnapped. That's the point, like, where my imagination would go crazy, just wondering what kind of world is it, what will I find, what will I uncover. And that's what RPGs, for me, that's the magic of RPGs. And I just thought I'd share that with you guys. And Fallout 4 did that for me. Fallout as well did that. Fallout 2 had a little bit, Fallout 2 had a little bit, a little bit. But you start off, I got kind of used to how the game would go by then. It was very similar engine, though they added the same engine, they just added a bit more to it. And, yeah, so I'm just trying to say, New Vegas didn't really do that for me. Neither did Fallout 3. It had a little bit in Fallout 3 of that imagination type thing for me. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm just telling you how I feel about it. So Fallout 4 did that for me, and so did Fallout. So Buckle Backwoods wrote, I chose Fallout 4 because it's the best game. It's definitely best mechanics, if you ask me. I didn't really like the way that the skills progress in the game. It's so easy just to max everything out, and then the game gets really easy. In the before Fallout 4. It provides, some people say that for Fallout 4 it does that. Well, it's not as extreme as the previous ones. Every endgame in all these open world games, you're going to be extremely powerful. So that's not a really valid argument as far as I'm concerned. Everyone has their opinions, though. So sorry, Buck. I chose Fallout 4 because it's the best game. It provides the best exploration, the best world building, the best story, the best characters, the best companions, and it's quirky and fun. I agree with all of that. I also chose it despite on the Obsidian fans, because New Vegas is absolute dung and the bottom of the pile. I kind of agree with that too, yeah. I don't think New Vegas is trash. I don't think any of the Fallout games are trash. It's my least favorite. Why? It had a good beginning. I like the area where you start in the little town. It just got, for me personally, got a little boring later on. And I don't know. That Fallout 4 really had character development. It's the first game out of all of them that actually tried to have your characters as real people you get to know. And yeah, and I really hope Bethesda continues that on with their next games after Fallout 4, which is Starfield and The Elder Scrolls 6. I hope they really continue on with that type, maybe even expand it where you don't just learn about them, but they also take part in your own life, which is what Cyberpunk 2077 does as well. Those characters also take part in your life. It's not just about having cool characters with backstories. No, they're in your life, you're in their life. You mix it all up. It's more realistic. What is your opinion on the best length of a video on my channel? 42 votes. 15 to 20 minutes, 7%. 20 to 30 minutes, 10%. 30 to 40 minutes, 19%. Doesn't matter, I'll watch them no matter how short or long, 64%. I love you guys. I've never played The Elder Scrolls Online. I've heard that there is a decent amount of story in it. Do you think that it could ever be put into a Let's Roleplay? 41 votes? Possibly, so long as all the Elder Scrolls games have been done, 76%. No way, it's a bad game, 10%. No way, it's an MMO and it couldn't work, 15%. Jervar Stablehand wrote, wow, that's a lot for me to read, but thanks for all the information. Elder Scrolls Online is a fantastic game that gets a lot of hate, just like Skyrim. Here are reasons to play it, both from an RP perspective and an Elder Scrolls fan. Its rich lore. They have been crafting the game since 2014. Even though the Morrowind fans attempted to thwart it as not being canon, it is. The Morrowind fans attempted to thwart it? I had no idea. See, I don't really know that much about Elder Scrolls Online. Got some bad reviews in the first year, and that was when I started making my channel as well. I didn't really have time. I was doing EverQuest at that time. I think it came out in 2014. On that note, there are many new, well-written books to read dealing in all manner of subjects that expand greatly on Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls fans are missing out if they discount it because it's an MMO. Would they not play an Elder Scrolls Grand Strategy, ARPG, or CRPG? The game can be played totally in first person except for mounts. Many graphical options to get the game world and the UI to look how you want. I play with a minimal UI, no floating names, and health bars over players' and NPCs' heads. The hotbars can be set to auto so they don't show until combat starts. That's kind of neat. The game's performance is great on decent computers, so if you have a good computer, you will be able to max the graphics out no problem. The character creation is great. Height and weight slider, voice selection, many hairstyles, and skin tones and eye colors. I've actually, when looking for pictures for the intros of my games, I found that some people were talking about how great the character creator is on ESO. You can solo 90% of the time of the game. You can go anywhere and do any of the quests for any faction. The entire game world scales to your level. Want to start in Blackwood at level 1? Fine. Want to start in Greymoor? Fine. Somerset or Morrowind at level 1? Fine. As you hit max level, you keep gaining power with champion points, giving you a lot more character growth and plenty of reason to keep exploring and questing. Antiquities, which means you get to go on excavations and perform scrying to recover lost artifacts throughout the entire game world. It starts in Greymoor but expands beyond that. For the explorer and lore aficionados. That's really neat. Factions to join: Fighters Guild, Mages Guild, Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood, Sijic Order. Or is it Sijic? I think it's Sijic. Sijic Order. That's how they say it on Fudge Muppet. Undaunted. Undaunted. I don't even know what that is. Undead? I don't. No idea. When you speak to an NPC, the game switches cameras to give you a more detailed conversation screen. The conversation can be interrupted by players, can't be interrupted by players standing in front of you or crossing your view. You can turn off depth of field for conversations if preferred. The response and questions the player says during the conversations doesn't turn your character into a fool or sound stupid. They are mostly neutral, and the player can give their own inflection while reading them aloud or silently to oneself. It has only 6 classes, but within those classes are hundreds of skills and builds. You can easily make any class type you want. You can respec, so if you want your character to grow in a different direction, that is easily done. There are entire lines of skills for vampires and werewolves like any good Elder Scrolls games. The music is amazing, as you already know. Yes, I add in a lot of it actually to my the Elder Scrolls games. The sound effects are robust, not highly pitched or clinky. The voice acting is really good throughout, and a very robust crafting system. Yeah, I actually really like crafting in MMOs and in single-player games. I really get into that. I didn't used to, but just, I guess in the last 10 years I've been doing that a lot. And in Skyrim, I will be doing that a lot. There's no crafting in any other game outside of Fallout 4 and Skyrim that Bethesda does, I think. I hope I'm right there. The sound effects are robust, not high-pitched or clinky. Go away. The music, the voice acting is really good throughout, so that I have no idea. So I don't even really... Actually, I've seen a few videos when it did come out. And a very robust crafting system, yeah. Sorry. I guess I'm getting a little tired. I've already read that. Babylon has fallen. Elder Scrolls Online is okay. There is some value in it, for sure. Sometimes, however, it leaves me a bit disappointed. It feels like they were in such a rush to get the world built so they could have a cash cow MMO that it feels almost soulless. Unlike Morrowind or Oblivion, which have such charm and a great atmosphere. Overall, though, there are some decent stories and fun adventures to be had in Elder Scrolls Online. Now I'm thinking I might actually do that after Skyrim if Elder Scrolls 6 has not come out yet. They're talking about 2025 for that. But then again, I might still be playing Skyrim into 2025. I don't know. Skyrim's a really long game once you put all the DLCs in there. Noah Miller. I clicked the Discord. It doesn't have anything to do with this. It doesn't even be loading. This is my first time entering your server too. Yeah, I believe I fixed that. And then somebody else said they couldn't get into it. Go on Discord and leave a message if you want. That you don't just have to go in there and see no one's there. I'm always signed up for Discord. Leave a message if you want. You can also leave your opinions on games. I have sections for that there. Honestly, if you want my opinion with the effort put into the Elder Scrolls Online, you'd be better off just buying RimWorld and downloading mods to extend the tribal medieval gameplay and add some Elder Scrolls races. They have that in there, huh? And creature mods, and starting a roleplay colony based off of it. Just an alternate option I've thought of for some time. I don't even know if you like RimWorld or not, but it's a fun game, and some people do really well role-playing it. Again, it's just an idea I've come up with. Yeah, I actually have played RimWorld for quite a few years. It's a very good game, I think. As for role-playing it, I can self-roleplay, but as for putting it into my roleplays, I think it would get a bit stale. I guess that depends on how creative I get with the stories of the characters who are in it. I don't know. I like putting it from one person's perspective for my videos. It's a totally different idea to put it from different people's perspectives. I guess I could always have it from one person's perspective and have others input into it who are with the on your colony, but it's really stale because I have to keep making up stuff for it. In my roleplay videos, I have actual characters who I don't control, their input, and then I kind of feed off that and reply to that and go with that. I don't know how I would do it if they don't have any input at all. That would be very, very weird. Bob the Player. I did not like it, and I'm a big Elder Scrolls fan. I'm a big Elder Scrolls fan, and I haven't played it, so I don't have an opinion on it. But I really like Jervar Stablehand's, everything he added to it. That's why I think, actually, if he didn't put all that in there, I wouldn't have even considered ever doing it. But considering how long they're taking between Skyrim and Elder Scrolls 6, like 2011 to 2025, 14 years, yeah, if I'm still doing this after Elder Scrolls 6, so it's come out, it could be 2026, 2027. Maybe if ESO is still out, it might not be. Because they do tend to have a certain amount of life to them before the company just shuts them down. I guess they find they're not profitable enough to keep going. If it's still going, maybe I will put that in the Elder Scrolls slot. But that's far in the future from now. Nobody wrote any comments here for this one. I have said that I will start out with Fallout 4 when Pillars of Eternity 2 is complete. After Fallout 4, which Fallout game should I go with? Personally, I want to go in order from Fallout 1, 2, and 3, then New Vegas. But since I like Fallout 4 so much, and I know a lot of people want to see more 3D games, so I went with that game as the first Fallout, which I announced last year. 44 votes. Start with 1 and go in order from there after Fallout 4. 50%. Fallout 2 got none. Fallout 3 got 9%. Fallout New Vegas, 41%. So, yeah, I do believe that that's how I will do it. Start with 1. It's an isometric game, although it's a short game. Fallout 2 is, what, twice as long or 50% longer? I forget. But those games will go by pretty fast. They're not as long as Baldur's Gate 2. Jesus, a long game. Pillars of Eternity 2 is also a fairly long game, but Baldur's Gate 2 is probably will be the longest isometric game I have on my channel. I'm about halfway through it, as I said before. So, let's go to the next one. There's some people who wrote comments here. What do you want to oh, sorry. How did you find my channel? 54 votes. YouTube recommendation, 41%. A friend recommended you, 11%. Off of a website, 2%. Browser search, 30%. Something else got me here, 17%. Bob the Player wrote, probably 3 to 4 years ago, I found your channel while searching for EverQuest P99 videos, Project 1999 videos. Jarek, why did I read D? Jarrett Duker. Duker? Yeah. Was trolling my Steam games list and noticed I bought Baldur's Gate EE, but only had 20 minutes in it and thought I should play it. Then I remembered that the graphics and UI were so dated that I could not make it out of Candle Keep. So then I did a YouTube search to see if anyone else had a full Let's Play that would let me experience the story the lazy way. Yours was top. The lazy way for you, but not for me. My god, this is a lot of work. But that's awesome, though. I appreciate that. Captain Red 1000. Damn, it's been a long time. I actually don't remember the specifics, but I believe I was either looking for Liliana's song in Origins, or just looking for Origins playthroughs in general. Either way, Dragon Age Origins brought me here. Yeah, you've been here since 2014. It's one of my, not the longest, but one of the longer people that have been here and are still active. There is somebody, I think, because they keep saying cheers, I take it they're from the UK. There was somebody that was there in my very first, game video that I made, though, but if that makes sense. Because I did a video, which was a compilation. I thought that the XCOM, not the games that everybody likes, the investigative one, I thought that would be a really good game, and I just put up, my very first video was actually a compilation of all the videos they made for it together. When just from the devs, it wasn't a playthrough. That was my very first video, and then I started doing Elder Scrolls videos, and that was from 2013, late 2013. And there's still somebody who's still here, and I'm sorry I forget your name. But they tend to watch it in big batches, all my videos, so they come here every month or two and they just watch. So I say cheers, thanks for the video, for like a dozen videos. Binge watch, that's the word, binge watch. Last one. Do the graphics, animation, sound, voiceovers, and more lifelike world make that much of a difference between, I can't talk, my lips are getting dry, between Morrowind and Oblivion for your viewing enjoyment? I like them both, but the 25 votes, they are different, but I appreciate them as is, 92%. It makes a huge difference in watching your videos, 4%. I couldn't really get into Morrowind, but I like Oblivion, 4%. So, I like the effort you've been putting into making this look nice for our viewing pleasure, but it's you we're here to see, says Captain Red 1000. Thank you very much. Buckle Backwards Buck says, no, absolutely not. What matters to me is the quality of roleplay first and foremost, and a buttery smooth frames per second. Everything else falls by the wayside until we start talking about genre, of course. CRPGs, computer role-playing games, just don't cut it for me. And it ain't because of the graphics, if you know what I'm saying. I love your Oblivion playthrough. Thank you very much, Buck. Please give my memberships a thought. If you're interested in channel perks, and if you can afford it, click on the join button on my channel page and give the video a look through. Check out the membership options. There are 3 of them. Don't forget about my Discord server, which is set up for members to come and leave your thoughts on any of my games I have on my channel. Ideas you may have, just leave them for me. I read everything you guys put on my channel or on Discord. It's all free for anyone to join. Just click on the link to Discord on the right side of my banner. I have Patreon, I have Parler. Sign up, share your voice. These other platforms will not silence you, unlike YouTube. So, alright, I think that's everything for now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and don't be afraid to leave a comment on my video or in Discord. Bye for now.